Hi, this is Frank Warren, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is FAISAL Khan for Lights Out, with me via Zoom. Delighted to be joined by Chistopher Lovejoy. Chistopher, how's it going?
It's all good, man. I'm blessed. What's cracking?
As yourself, all blessed. Just trying to get through these unprecedented times. It's good to finally get you on Lights Out, Chris. It's been an interview that we've been chasing for quite a while now, obviously, especially since your little trip to the UK, where unfortunately we never got to see your skills in the ring due to the politics outside of the ring. But you certainly made quite a name for yourself in all the interviews that you did with Matchroom and other YouTube channels such as IFL. You know, a lot of the UK fans took a real liking to you. It was disappointing that the fight with Dave Allen couldn't go ahead in the end. But when can we expect to see you out next? And is it likely that we'll get to see you again in the UK fighting in front of the UK fans?
It's most likely I will be back to fight in the UK. My contract with Don King was due to expire May 4th, 2021. I'm actually bargaining with him right now. I've been bargaining with him every day since I left. We might be getting out of that contract any day now. I just finalized some stuff to get to that point. So with that being said, I'm still talking to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing. I might be fighting on a January card over in the UK. So that's what we're working on right now. We're working on that right now. My job right now is just get in shape and get ready. Because that's what we're doing.
The relationship between yourself and Don King, obviously we don't know too much about. Is that relationship on good terms right now? Or is it just a case of you want to get out of that contract and just carry on with the rest of your career?
Well, we're on good terms as far as, two men, trying to, work something out. As far as business goes, things didn't go the way I expect them to go. And so I was ready to move on. As far as my knowledge is concerned, I didn't even know I was even still in the contract. I thought this contract was null and void. So this whole process was just based on, me not knowing what's really going on in the legal world. So I'm understanding that he's trying to do what he got to do as a businessman, and I'm doing what I got to do as a businessman to move forward. So like I said, it's just business. It is what it is. But right now, I'm trying to move forward and move on my career like I've been doing.
Well, it's going to be exciting to see what happens next in your career. And the reason I say that is because, Chistopher, you're 19-0 with 19 knockouts. Why is it that you've only bursted onto the scene now in the UK? I mean, I'm sure over in America you're well known, but the UK, most fans only heard of you when the fight with Dave Allen was made. I mean, why is it that we've not heard the name Chistopher Lovejoy in the UK as much as, we should have?
Well, I'm my own promoter. I mean, even though Don King claims he's my promoter, he hasn't done anything for me. He hasn't promoted for me. He hasn't gotten me a fight. It's been 3 years. I never got a fight for him. I've been doing everything on my own. Everything you see me doing, any type of sponsorships or fighting or any type of publicity, it's all on me. I've been doing it 100% on me, on my own budget. So I never really had the budget, or the platform to reach the UK. It's a few people who know who I am based on a few call-outs I've made, but me actually coming there really kind of like that's really what did it. So that's why, because I've been doing everything on my own.
19-0, 19 KOs, 37 years old, finally getting onto the scene in the UK, likely to fight on the Matchroom shows, which, are very highly rated, very highly viewed in the UK. Now you're at a point of your career where the big fights have to start coming. It's such an action-packed division. It's probably the most exciting division in boxing today. It's been the best since the days of Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis. In terms of who you want next, in terms of who we can expect to see you in the ring with, what is the plans for 2021 and who is it that you want to be fighting in 2021?
2021, I want Joyce. That's a fight I've been wanting for a couple of years now. I've always wanted to fight Joyce, and now he's got more fights. He got more experience. He's kind of moving up in the rankings, notoriety. He's moving up, and I think for him right now after the Du Bois fight, I think he needs not need, but I think it'd be good for him to get like a tune-up, which I'm like a dangerous tune-up, but that's the fight I want.
That fight, obviously, may not be the easiest to be made because, as expected, you're likely to be working with Matchroom in 2021. Joe Joyce is promoted by Frank Warren and Queensby Promotions. He's now not far off a WBO world title shot, and a lot of people are calling for a fight with Alexander Usyk. If the fight with Joe Joyce wasn't to happen, who else would you be interested in fighting in?
I would like to fight Alan the Savage Babic. Babic would be a good fight for me. Good fight for him. Both undefeated. A lot to prove. And if I can't get that one, I want to get Dave Allen out of retirement to give me the fight that the fans really want.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, the fights with Joe Joyce, Alan Babic would be exciting enough. And Dave Allen, as I'm pretty sure you're aware, is a very popular figure in the UK, but he's now retired. Let's just talk a bit about Joe Joyce. I'm pretty sure you watched the fight with Daniel Dubois. What did you make of his performance with Daniel Dubois? And what's your feelings on everybody saying that Daniel Dubois quit during that fight?
Well, I'm going to stick to what I said when I saw it happen. I watched the fight. We're fighting. We got 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes. And you take away one of those things and you don't know how to perform. You know how you will feel. So I never took any credit away from him for that fight. When he took the knee, he never had fought with one eye closed before. So just imagine you fighting all your life with 2 eyes and then you can't see out of an eye. You really don't know how to handle that. So obviously he was in pain, and obviously he was limiting his vision to complete the fight. So, I understood what he was going through. I mean, he's a young fighter. He stepped it up all the way. He stepped up with his last couple of fights, undefeated fighters. And now he's fighting, Olympian, Joe Joyce, undefeated. And he loses vision in one of his eyes. So I think he made the right decision. And now that, it came out that he has some real damage, and it could have been potentially career-ending if he would have kept going, I think now the world knows he made the right decision. You live to fight another day.
100%. That's boxing for you. It's all part of the process. Another American fighter that's come under a lot of criticism within the last couple of months is former WBC World Heavyweight Champion Dionte Wilder, since he released that video claiming that Tyson Fury had something in his gloves during their second fight, and also claimed Mike Breland might have spiked his water during the fight or before the fight. I mean, again, a fellow American coming out and saying that. Chistopher, what's your thoughts on Dionte Wilder's comments? And, as a heavyweight in the division, what would you like to see Dionte do next?
Well, him coming out saying that stuff about something in Tyson's gloves, I don't think that's possible. You got people watching you put your gloves on, wrap your gloves, signing gloves off, and then taking gloves off at the same time. So it's merely impossible. Then on top of that, it'd be probably impossible to fit something that size in your glove when our hands with the wraps are barely can fit inside these little 10-ounce gloves anyway. Now, as far as something being in his drink, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened with his drink. I don't know if there was anything in his drink. My question is, why wait so long to say someone put something in your drink when you should have said something the day of the fight, the day after the fight, maybe even a few days after the fight? So I don't know where all this is coming from. I don't know if it's for publicity. I don't know if he really feels that way. Who knows? Obviously he's going through something, and we could just wish the best for him. But where I come from, we don't make excuses. And if it's a problem with something's going on, we address the problem immediately. I'm not going to wait almost a year later to say something went wrong. If something's wrong, we're going to address it right now. So that's where I stand on it. And I don't know what the man going through.
Anthony Joshua is scheduled to take on Kubrat Pulev next week, and then everyone's expecting Joshua and Fury to go into that, those 2 fights that they've got scheduled for next year. Dillian White is tied up with in a rematch with Alexander Povetkin. We all know that it's likely Joe Joyce could fight Alexander Usyk. Would you be interested in a fight with Dionte Wilder? And if that fight was to happen, what would happen if you get in the ring with Dionte Wilder?
I'll definitely be interested in fighting with him. These are all the fights that I've been wanting for the last year or two. because I know I could bang with these guys easy. My style is kind of like very, very awkward, very, very hard to deal with. I'm straight down the pipe, aggressive type of fighter. Um, you know, I'm gonna just make him run. Like if we was a fight, he would just run the whole fight. Like it'd be nonstop pressure. Nonstop punches, nonstop pressure. I'll make it real ugly for him, and that's what it'll be. And he'll find his way out, whether he be quitting or won't be able to get up. I'm just too big, too massive, too strong, and just too much for somebody like that.
It'd be
I mean,
interesting.
I was too much for Tyson Fury. When we sparred, and Tyson Fury made Dionte Wilder look like an amateur in his first couple of amateur fights.
That's what obviously was going to lead to my next question, but you probably just answered it for me. But what was that experience like when you were sparring Tyson Fury?
It was good, man. Tyson Fury is probably the most skillful fighter I've gotten in the ring with. One of the best fighters I've seen. Major shout out to the Gypsy King. He is the king right now. I got him my top three, top two always. Him and AJ right now, tied for number one. It was a good experience. It was a confidence builder for me. About me being a heavyweight over here in the West Coast, just trying to get some work and experience based on my experience and my resume. That helped me out as far as my resume goes. It helped me out my confidence so I can get in there and go rounds with the best fighter in the world. So that helped me out a lot, and it was a lot of fun, a great experience. And major shout out to him and his camp for even inviting me, give me that opportunity. So I'm very grateful for that. But it was good. It was fun.
It's well said. I mean, it's good to know that you took a lot out of that experience, and we all know how much of a technically and a great skillful fighter Tyson Fury is. So that must have done the world of good, especially going forward in your career. Chistopher, final question. What was your thoughts on last night's fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Danny Garcia?
It went almost as expected. I had Errol Spence coming in for a win. I picked him to get a late stoppage. Garcia hasn't been stopped yet, but I thought that maybe Spence would be the first one to stop him. I felt that he was going to come out and make a statement, meaning that he's back and he didn't lose a step after his accident, and he did just that, if not more. A total honest opinion on the fight, it got kind of boring at times, maybe because of their styles, but, it is what it is. He won the fight. He won it convincingly, unanimous decision, and it was a great fight for him to come back and to not take a tune-up, which is what everyone would say would be an easy fight. There's no easy fights in boxing, but for him to come out and fight a major contender like that on that type of stage for his comeback fight after the accident is a big statement to the division. It's a big statement to boxing, and lets me know that you can come back from anything. Because some people thought he would never box again.
Everybody wants to see that fight between him and Crawford in 2021. Does the fight happen? And if it does, probably the two best welterweights in the world right now. Obviously, Manny Pacquiao would be considered as one of them. But does that fight happen in 2021? And who wins if it does happen?
I think it happens. I don't know if it happens 2021. There's a lot of politics in boxing, a lot of type of different restrictions, a lot of things going on. I don't think it happens 2021. It may happen, it might not, but I think it happens eventually. I think we're getting to the point where now these fights got to happen. I think we're getting to the point now where the fans are really, really calling for it. We missed out on a few things with the AJ and the Wilder, which would have been a really, really big one. And it's like Roy Jones Jr. said one time, we got to make these fights happen because sometimes you can mess up a big mega fight. Say, for instance, when Anthony Joshua lost to Ruiz Jr., that right there could have messed up a potential fight with him and Wilder. Then Wilder lost to Fury. So they're taking all these tune-up fights in between. Not saying that Wilder and Fury was a tune-up, but before the Wilder-Fury fight, Wilder fought Ortiz. And if he would have lost, like I said, you could have messed up. You could have messed up potential mega fight. So now we're getting to the point where let's just make these fights happen. We don't need all the in-between fights that could potentially mess up the mega fight. And I think everyone's starting to know that. So I think it'll happen eventually. I don't think it'll be like the AJ Wilder where it never happened. It's probably not going to happen anymore. I think the Spence Crawford is going to happen. I don't know if it'll be 2021, but I think it'll happen sooner or later. While they're still in good peak prime shape and stuff like that.
Fingers crossed it does happen, because that is a fight that is highly demanded by the boxing world. I mean, it is a fight that everybody wants to see, two skillful pound-for-pound fighters. It really would be a very, very good fight to watch. Chistopher, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate you speaking to Lights Out. And as I said at the beginning, we look forward to having you back in the UK at some point, hopefully next year, January 2021. And hopefully it's a big fight, and hopefully you put out a big performance.
Let's get it, man. Thanks for having me. Hit me anytime. We connected now. We locked in. Any questions, let me know. I'm right at you. Let's get it.
Thank you very much for your time, Chistopher. Really appreciate that. And I hope you have a very good Christmas and a Happy New Year. We look forward to speaking to you sometime at the beginning of next year.
You too, man. Talk to you soon.
Thank you very much.